Welcome to Evil Dead Week on Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Army of Darkness. He's a 20th century guy trapped in the Middle Ages.
Directed by Sam Raimi and starring Bruce Campbell and Embeth Davidtz, Army of Darkness is about Ash, who's sent back in time to 1300 AD. And now he's tasked with the mission to go and get the Necronomicon so he can be sent back to his time. Unfortunately, he screws up the words while retrieving the book and unleashes an army of the dead which he has to defeat before he's sent back home. So what do we like? I really like the comedy in Army of Darkness. I mean, we've seen through the Evil Dead movies that Ash just progressively gets funnier and funnier, and it's just now become a complete slapstick comedy. I mean, there are full sequences of where Ash has to fight himself once again, but this time in the form of little mini Ashes running around and tormenting him, and it's just slapstick comedy at its finest.
Even when Ash is facing all the skeletons and the bones in the cemetery, it's straight out of the Three Stooges. And the sound effects, that just added to the humor. It was so over the top, it was hilarious. I really enjoyed how they incorporated modern day technology and science into this middle age. It was really well done because they didn't go too over the top with it. It wasn't like him being this super genius. He had the books, and I like that.
I really liked the big battle scene. We have the biggest, most epic battle scene that lasts for about 20 minutes, and it's fantastic. There's explosions, there's a nice mixture of practical effects as well as stop motion animation for skeletons that Ash has to defeat while defending the castle to save them from stealing the Necronomicon. It was just great. It made for a lot of funny moments because you can see little deadite guys running around. Some of them have swagger. One's just a skeleton on the back of a horse. They didn't even try. It's fucking hilarious while being epic at the same time.
Yeah, especially when Ash just comes out with his car and all the skeletons and the deadites. They're just sticks sticking into the ground holding them up. And that's the charm in this film. That's what everyone really loves.
It was also nice to see a few throwback things. We have the evil rushing through the forest, kind of like from the previous Evil Dead movies. We have that when Ash is in the graveyard and he's in the forest, we do have the same atmospheric fog and stuff. And they did summarize the first movie or first two movies again in the beginning, so this can act as a standalone film like the other movies.
I really enjoyed the look of evil Ash. He just looked badass.
Yeah, this movie in general was just overly ambitious with its makeup and its effects. And it's really cool because Sam Raimi obviously had an idea. He just ran with it and did whatever the hell he wanted, and it turned out great.
I felt in this one that Ash's character progressed further than we've ever seen in the previous films, especially with his badass personality and top-notch one-liners.
Well, that's just what we call pillow talk, baby. That's all.
I really liked the stunt choreography because Bruce Campbell and all of the extras and stuff were doing amazing stunts, flipping off pieces of the castle, just tumbling all over the place. Even the deadites running and blowing up and using springboard launchers and stuff. It was just really cool. So what didn't we like?
I didn't like the fact that in the beginning of the film, there was a huge emphasis on the boomstick and the chainsaw. Right after he just showcased his powers, he got rid of them. And I don't know why, because that's what I like to see is a chainsaw hand and his boomstick. But then he was I'll just have a metal hand instead.
Yeah, I really wish he stuck with the chainsaw hand because, that could have been awesome. But I guess given Sam Raimi's vision of what stunts he wanted Bruce Campbell to do, maybe it would just be too cumbersome with the chainsaw arm. Because he was riding up chains and ropes and he wanted to have a big sword battle on the stairs. So there's a lot of stunt choreography that I think a chainsaw arm wouldn't work for. I felt that a few scenes lasted a little too long. I know I said this in Evil Dead 2. In this one, I did like the slapstick comedy with Ash fighting himself. It could have been cut in half, and I would have liked it a lot more. Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. Army of Darkness is the perfect follow-up to Evil Dead 2, where we started developing Ash as a sarcastic character. It went over the top in this one, and he became the Ash that we love with the one-liners and just the pompous attitude. It's just perfect. I thought this one had some great production, from mini sets to big, huge, epic wars and all the stunts and everything. It was just Evil Dead and Sam Raimi's vision on like a huge, grand scale that's gone batshit crazy. And I absolutely love it. Though I did think that there were a few scenes that ran a little too long, it was still a fantastic movie. So I'm gonna give this 4 awesome Ted Raimi beards out of 5.
Army of Darkness is a great film. It has everything that you could ever look for in something that is over the top. It's entertaining, it has lots of action, cool stunts, hilarious one-liners, and Bruce Campbell as Ash, he is just so good in this film. His character and his acting made this movie so entertaining and so much fun. I just kind of wish we had more chainsaw hands and boomstick scenes, because that's what I kind of like. But it's still a great film, and that being said, I'm going to give this 4. How many guys does it take to unsheath one sword out of 5?
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and let us know your thoughts on Army of Darkness in the comments. If you don't already own Army of Darkness, Scream Factory just put out a big collector's edition that has 3 Blu-ray discs with tons of extra features, a new 4K transfer, and tons of audio commentaries and stuff that are all absolutely awesome, and I highly recommend it. There's a link to that in the description. If this is your first time here, please subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our reactions, reviews, and games of What Would You Do?